Mabuhay, kamusta kayo, and welcome to another video. And welcome to part 1 of my indoor cacti and succulent collection tour. It's been quite a while since I've showed you the plants that live indoors all year round. Getting on for about a year now, I think, since the last video. And just like the previous ones, I'll do these videos in 3 or 4 parts, as there's a lot of plants to show, and I want to show them individually like I've done in the previous tour videos as well. It's easier for me to show them that way rather than holding the camera and walking sideways and going along the windowsills. So yeah, lots of plants to show you, so without further ado, let's begin. First up, this lovely Eriosisonopina. I'll put all the names up on screen as well. This one had a crazy root system on it when I got it, which is why it's planted in the corner of the pot rather than in the middle. It wouldn't have fit otherwise. Then my favourite all-time cactus, Astrophytum mysterious. This one hasn't flowered yet this year, but it does have a bud starting to come through now. And another Asterias. This one did flower earlier in the year, but the flower never opened properly because of the weather. It just wasn't sunny enough. And another one. Did I say these are my favourite all-time cactus? I think in total, if I count all the seedlings I have of these as well, I've probably got about 100 to 150 Asterias. They are my favourites to grow from seed as well. And another one. Lovely spots on this one. A bit more stubborn when it comes to flowering than the other ones though. A Matucana, another that hasn't flowered for me yet. None of my Matucana have flowered yet actually. Still time though. My lovely Copiopoa cinerea hybrid. No idea what the other Copiopoa was to create this, it was just sold as a cinerea hybrid. I know it's a degraft though by the root system it had when I got it. Like pretty much all Copiopoa, cinerea has a tuberous root system, but this one has fibrous roots. Is due a repot soon though, so I'll be able to show you. Another Copiopoa, vicious spines again. This one has bitten me a number of times. Another Copiopoa, Heseltoniana. A bit gnarly looking around the base of this one with all the corking, but that's quite common on this species and Copiopoa in general as they age. I don't mind the gnarly look though. Caenoserius, which has had a couple of attacks of spider mite this year. Caught it fairly early, but you can see some damage there that they've done. No damage on the offsets though, they seem to have left those alone. Another Matucana. This one's quite heavily corked around the base as well. Again, a Matucana that hasn't flowered for me yet. Neopateria clavata, which I originally thought had its growing point damaged, which is why it started to send out these offsets. But these can apparently offset, but it's usually around the base of the plant. I'm still thinking this got its growing point damage, but regardless, still looks awesome. On to some Ferrocactus now. This one's grown a lot of new spines so far this year. You can see those new red spines coming through. And another. Same species as the previous one, but a different variety of it. Cactus gracilis, or the California fire barrel. Lovely red spines on these. I have two of these, this one and a much larger one that lives in the greenhouse. And another Cactus, macrodiscus. Could almost be mistaken for a Gymnocalycium. Neopteria laniceps was in flower a few weeks back. Lovely neon pink blooms. Echinopsis chim cream, which has been busy producing offsets all the way around the base. Rebutia cranesiana. Almost hypnotic looking with that spiral pattern. Another cranesiana. Quite a few offsets on this one, but this has been attacked a couple of times by spider mites as well. Rebutia are one of their favourite cactus to munch on. Gymnocalycium hanovici. One of the pups on this has some mite damage as well. Usually flowers every year, but hasn't yet this year. Lovely dark-bodied Neopteria. These cacti with a dark coloured epidermis are some of my favourites as well. Another Gymno. And this one has a tiny offset that's just started to come through. My favourite Euphorbia, in flower for about the third time so far this year as well. And the male one I have is flowering again too, so I've pollinated this and hopefully we'll get some more viable seeds from it. On to some Eriocyce now, another favourite genus of mine. Quite vicious spines on this one. Eriocyce curvispina, another viciously spined plant. Another Eriocyce. A lot of these ones I'm showing you came from a seller on eBay about 3 years ago. I did an unboxing of these on the channel, and some of these plants have grown a fair amount in that time. Copiapoa, again from the same eBay seller, who no longer sells plants unfortunately, which is a shame. He always had the more rarer and choice cacti for sale, and at excellent prices as well. And my absolute favourite Copiapoa cinerea, a very iconic cacti of the Atacama Desert. When you think of the Atacama, this is always one that comes to mind. Cultivated plants do look very different to the ones in habitat though. Another cinerea, Albaspina. Yeah, both of these doing very well and seem happy growing indoors. Another Areocyce. This one suffered a spell of not getting enough light. It has stretched just a little. These Areocyce and Copiapoa are definitely light-loving plants. The more the better. Another Areocyce. This is another one that's grown significantly since I got it. Spineless Areocyce. This one has flowered once for me. Had an absolutely amazing looking bloom on it. Areocyce villosa. Another one that has gorgeous blooms. But this year has been busy putting out some little offsets. Areocyce crispa. I have another one of these in the greenhouse, and because that one is getting more light, it's a much darker colour than this one. It has an almost black epidermis. One of my favourite Areocyce, this one, Esmeraldana. Very flat cactus, and during the winter dormancy this will get even flatter and almost bury itself. Another Areocyce I have two of, and again the one in the greenhouse has a much darker epidermis to this one. Another Areocyce that's grown some little offsets on the top. Variegated Echinopsis. You might remember that I recently repotted this, and it's certainly appreciated that. Looks much better than it did before the repot. The only Mela cactus I have. Claire from Cactus Cove got me this one a few years ago. Absolutely love that blue colour. A controversial plant, this one. Nobody can seem to agree on the genus or species name of this. I've always known it as Acanthocereus tetragonus, but some people say it isn't. But it's certainly always been known as the fairy castle cactus. Some now that are desperately needing a repot. This lovely Copiapoa hypogea. Definitely wants a bigger pot. Another Copiapoa hypogea, this one called Lizard Skin. You can see why. Monstrous form of Copiapoa tenuissima. Very slow growing plant, this one. Epithelantha, another very slow growing plant. Frailea, another plant that spider mites love munching on. You can see this one is a bit scarred around the centre. Gymnocalecium frederici aguadossi. This is the single spine form as well, which is a bit more harder to find and more desirable. Huge aloe snowstorm clump. Anna from Cactus Caffeine sent me this about 3 years ago. One single head that's now turned into this large multi-headed plant. Very prolific and very fast growing. My large Arista aloe aristata, or the lace aloe. Getting ready to flower. This is the plant I've had the longest, about 6 or 7 years now. Is wanting a repot soon as well. And the biggest plant, or certainly the tallest plant I have, is Euphorbia lactea. Won't be long till this reaches the ceiling. So that's it for part 1 of my cactus and succulent indoor tour. I'll try and get part 2 up early next week, and hopefully part 3 will be up for next weekend. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like and comment. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell as well so you know when I upload a new video. You'll be safe and well, and I shall see you next time. Salamat po paalam. Bye for now.